let us talk about Galbrena. Her first rerun is coming, and as a DPS unit, her shelf life is quite short. And as soon as the newest DPS waifu arrived, the community just kind of moved on from her. So, in this video, I want to talk whether she's still relevant in her rerun and if you should go and get her. Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? The short answer is yes. The longer answer is also yes, but you have to understand what she actually does and where she belongs. Galbrena was never designed to be a screenshot damage merchant. She's not built to flood your screen with million damage crit damages like Amy, for example. Her strength has always been consistency, pressure, and controlled output over time. In a meta that worships burst showcases, that kind of value is easy to underestimate. When you bring her into difficult content, especially sustained boss encounters, you start to see where she fits in. She performs best in fights that punish reckless burst rotations and reward stable uptime. If a boss has extended vulnerability windows but also forces movement and repositioning, Galbrena thrives because her kit does not collapse the moment you have to disengage for a few seconds. Wait a minute, don't you know that you can now top up Wuthering Waves like it's Genshin Impact? No more passwords required, no VPNs, no self-top-ups for discounts. AI minion, go for it.
If you want a smarter way to stretch your Lunites and Asterites without feeling like your wallet just lost a boss fight, check out my U7 buy link in the description and pinned comments and use my code VeeDizzy. They're the only top-up site that can deliver your purchase directly using only your UID and server through what they call Trusted Top-Up. No passwords required. No manual do-it-yourself top-ups, just a smooth, worry-free process delivered straight to your account. They handle the top-up securely while you stay in control of your account. U7 Buy has been operating since 2003, and they've expanded into the gacha space with some of the most competitive top-up pricing available for Wuthering Waves, offering savings of up to 26% compared to in-game prices. They currently hold a 4.7 rating on Trustpilot, and most top-ups are completed in under 5 minutes, which means less waiting and more time actually playing. If you want cheaper top-ups while keeping your account safe, use my link in the description and pinned comments, or use my code VeeDizzy on U7 Buy. It's a practical way to save on top-ups while supporting the channel. Spend responsibly, or don't, that part is on you. Now, back to the topic.
A lot of players misunderstand this because they evaluate her purely through damage per screenshot, and I must confess that I'm one of those players at first. But endgame content is rarely about one big number. It is about whether your team can maintain tempo without falling apart. The crazy thing is, Galbrena is very easy to use. After introing, cast her Echo skill and regular Resonance skill, followed immediately by a heavy attack. Mash basics until Forte is full, then switch to enhanced Resonance skill to enter Demon mode. Cast Liberation immediately, and then mash her enhanced basic or Forte basics again until her Forte is fully consumed. Once Concerto is full, swap out. Now, let us talk about where she actually slots in. First, she works best in compositions that value sustained field presence. If you try to force her into a quick swap burst team that demands explosive rotations, you will feel like she is underperforming. That is not because she is weak, it is because you are asking her to do a job that was never hers to begin with. She shines in balanced teams where she either acts as the primary on-field driver or as a stabilizing sub-DPS that bridges rotations smoothly. In context with layered enemy waves, her ability to maintain damage without full setup becomes extremely valuable. In tower-style modes or boss rush scenarios where you cannot afford sloppy rotations, Galbrena's consistency lowers the execution barrier. She does not demand perfect timing every single cycle. That matters more than people actually admit. Now, about her best teams. If you are running her as a main DPS, she benefits heavily from characters that amplify her sustained output rather than front load everything into one burst window. Supports that provide steady echo skill and fusion buffs, resistance shreds, or energy stability elevate her far more than pure nuke enablers. Pairing her with Choi Wen creates a much more synergistic offensive core. Choi Wen provides echo skill buffs and critical damage amplification, which directly scales Galbrena's sustained output instead of forcing everything into a single burst window. The two of them together feel fluid because Galbrena maintains constant pressure while Choi Wen quietly inflates every rotation with meaningful multipliers. For the third slot, you can run Shortkeeper or Mornier as sustainers who also function as damage amplifiers and crit buffers. Both options stabilize the team while adding extra layers of buffing, turning the composition into a controlled but high value setup that clears difficult content cleanly without relying on risky all-in rotations. In more aggressive setups, she can function alongside high-impact DPS units as a rotational damage stabilizer. If your primary carry is burst-oriented and has downtime, Galbrena can fill those gaps without making the team feel empty. This hybrid structure works particularly well in difficult content where bosses have invulnerability phases or forced transitions. Some players experiment with double DPS structures where she supports a hyper carry like Amy. This can work, but you need to accept that Galbrena will not outshine the hyper carry, nor will she amplify its damage. Instead, she smooths the overall damage curve. The benefit is that your team feels less feast or famine. If Amy misses a crit or the rotation desyncs, Galbrena keeps things afloat. There is also the question of whether she has been powercrept. Okay, power creep in gacha games is rarely about total obsolescence. It is about comparative efficiency. Newer characters may clear faster in ideal conditions. They may hit higher ceilings with optimal gear, but that does not automatically invalidate a unit whose floor is stable and reliable. Galbrena's floor remains high, even if her ceiling is no longer the absolute peak. She does not crumble in modern content. In fact, for players who value consistency over mechanical perfection, she can feel better than some of the so-called top tiers right now. The community's bias towards certain types of waifus also play a role here. Let us be honest, it is not just about being a waifu, it is about being the newest, flashiest, most obviously broken waifu on the banner. Units that scream meta from day one receive immediate investment and endless showcase teams, while more balanced designs get quietly sidelined. That perception gap affects how characters are discussed. Galbrena is a waifu too, but she is not the explosive headline grabbing type. She is not constantly trending. She is not the center of every thumbnail with damage numbers covering the screen. So people easily assume she fell off when her actual performance says otherwise. But relevance is not determined by popularity. It is determined by performance in actual content. If you're pushing high difficulty stages and you need a unit who will not sabotage your run because you mistimed one input, she remains extremely useful and usable. If you prefer steady rotations over high risk burst windows, she fits in naturally. Where she struggles is in speedrun culture. If your goal is to shave seconds off a clear time with perfectly optimized rotations, there are characters who will outperform her. She does not dominate leaderboard style showcases. However, the majority of players are chasing reliable progression, and in that context, she is far from irrelevant. As always, if this video resonated with you, please leave a like and subscribe. Ring that bell for massive gotcha luck and maybe a sandwich. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye.